So hello everyone. I'm Zaini Ali Talib, going to take you today through this series of videos, and the video today is to talk about the war that's going on in Western Sahara and give you some updates on the war, on this war that's going on for 1 year now. This war in Western Sahara, and since this is our first video in English, so our audience also, some of them may have little knowledge about the case in general and what's going on in Western Sahara. So we may also give some basic information about the issue in general, and also explain some acronyms that will be mentioned today. Briefly about Western Sahara, the Western Sahara is also known as Africa's last colony. Western Sahara is Africa's last colony, since it's still occupied by Morocco, or 70% of its land is occupied by Morocco. The 30% of the land is liberated and is controlled by the Polisario. The Polisario is the representative or independence movement and representative of the people, the indigenous people of Western Sahara, the Sahrawis. Also, this acronym Polisario means the Popular Front for the Liberation of Sagi al-Hamra and Rio de Oro, which are two main territories of Western Sahara. So the war is going on now between Morocco, the occupiers, and the Front of Polisario, or the Western Sahara Army. Western Sahara, as you know, is a country in Northwest Africa, is bordered by Morocco from the north, and Algeria from the east, and Mauritania from the east and the south. It was a former Spanish colony from 1884 till 1975. When Spain withdrew the country after 2 years of war between Spain and the Polisario, the independence movement for Western Sahara. After that, Spain withdrew the country, but divided between Morocco and Mauritania, and gave nothing for the indigenous people who are the owner of this land, the Sahrawi people. The Sahrawi independence movement, the Polisario, starts, and the Sahrawi army start to fight both parties, Morocco and Mauritania. After 4 years of war, they succeed to make Mauritania withdraw also the country and recognize the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, which is the formal name for Western Sahara as a country state. Since then, the war just continues with Morocco, with the Moroccan occupiers. 16 years of war till 1991, when the UN mediated a ceasefire between both parties, the Polisario and Morocco. And since then, since 1991 till 2020, there was a ceasefire and negotiations to resolve the conflict in Western Sahara, and to give the Sahrawi people their right to self-determination and independence. But in November 13, 2020, the Moroccan occupiers, they attack the civilians, the Sahrawi civilians, in Al Gergerat area, Al Gergerat Breach, which is in the borders between Western Sahara and Mauritania, where some Sahrawi civilians were protesting there against this illegal breach that is used by the Moroccans to plunder the resources of Western Sahara, since the Western Sahara is known as a rich country in minerals, and especially phosphates, and also fisheries. The Sahrawi people are divided like half in the occupied territories of Western Sahara, west of the Berm, and another half in refugee camps in Algeria, Sahrawi refugee camps in Algeria, and in the liberated zone of Western Sahara. So Western Sahara, the two parts, the territories which is occupied and the other territory which is liberated, they're divided by a wall. This wall is the second largest one in the world after the wall of China, and this wall separates Western Sahara is built by Morocco, the occupiers, and is full of land mines, about 9 million land mines against mines are used against people to protect this illegal or separation and apartheid kind of wall. And also this after this wall or the south of this berm or wall is a sand berm about 2,700 kilometers long, and is protected on the west of it by bases, by Moroccan bases, military bases, and about more than 100,000 of Moroccan occupier soldiers. So this was the case till 2020 on November 13, after the attack on the civilians on El Gergerat. Then the Polisario, the independence movement, the front, they announced to resume the war against Morocco because they break the ceasefire and they attack the civilians. And since then, it starts the war between two parties in the whole last year. This war, it was kind of a low tension war during the last couple months, the last year. The Sahrawis, from their part, the Sahrawi army continues to attack the whole long of Wall of Shame, this Moroccan wall, and the bases, the Moroccan military bases. The Sahrawi army attacking like in every day, in a daily basis. They attack using artillery and missiles to attack these occupiers' bases. The Moroccans also, they from their side, they attack civilians, and what we saw is increase in the attacks using drones, especially using drones to attack civilians in Western Sahara. And these drones, as you may know, Morocco now have agreements with the Israelis and also the Turkish. So they have these drones, also the USA drones, but they use mainly now in Western Sahara against the civilians and even against the Algerian civilians. As you will see in some of these videos, they are attacking using these drones, airstriking civilians in Western Sahara. And this was documented. And it's, of course, it's like war crimes because it's against the international law, attacking some civilians in Western Sahara. Those civilians, they are mainly use the roads between Western Sahara, Algeria, and Mauritania and some of them, they are Bedouins who live in the countryside of Western Sahara and the liberated zone and on the borders with Mauritania and Algeria. So Morocco, they're targeting civilians in these clear violations of all the international law and crimes against humanity. As you can see here in this video now, this is a Sahrawi media activist, Rashid Zainuddin. He made this video on the attack to show clearly the attack that was committed by the Moroccan air forces, and especially drones. They used drones to attack two Algerian trucks. These two trucks, they are carrying some, as you see, some materials as white cement from taking it from Algeria to Mauritania, but it crosses Western Sahara in this, since this road crosses in some places, crosses the Western Sahara liberated part, which is known also as its international road, always by civilians from the three countries, and from everyone, from the civilians, the Sahrawis, Algerians, and the Mauritanians. So the Moroccans airstrikes these two tracks. They killed three Algerian civilians, and this attack was in November 1st. And absolutely, the Algerian authorities, and especially the president of Algeria, has spoken or announced that the responsibility is Morocco. After the investigation, they hold Morocco accountable for this, and they said clearly that there will be a punishment from Algeria on the Moroccan attacking the Algerian civilians and the commercial trucks. Also, as you can see, there is attacks on the Sahrawi, also the Sahrawi civilians in the liberated zones. Those civilians, some of them, they have their some of them, they are like gold diggers. They dig for gold in some zones in the borders between Western Sahara and Mauritania. And some of them, they just have their animals there, and they live in the countryside of Western Sahara. They are civilians. They're attacked by the criminals and the terrorists of Morocco. Yeah, this is all videos. Like you see, there is these videos that shows these attacks using drones to attack civilians in the liberated zone of Western Sahara. And this was documented, but Morocco still carrying these attacks. Even yesterday, as we speak, yesterday, November 15, 2021, there was another attacks, airstrikes using these drones that either Israeli or Turkish drones used by the terrorist regime of Morocco. They attacked civilians. They killed about 13 Sahrawi and Mauritanian civilians. They were in the Western Sahara, the liberated zone. So there's still these attacks. They are still committing this crime in the Western Sahara. So this is the war in Western Sahara. The Sahrawis, or the authorities of Western Sahara, the Polisario leaders, military leaders especially, they announce and they warn any civilians to stay away from the war zones and the Gergerat, especially the Gergerat area and the Gergerat breach between the Western Sahara and Mauritania. Also, they warned all the investors or companies that is illegally doing some business in Western Sahara with the occupiers, with the Morocco, without the consent of the Sahrawis, and they are plundering the resource of Western Sahara and the resources of the Sahrawi indigenous people. So they warned them, anyone should stay away from Western Sahara. It's a war zone now, and they said clearly that there will be more escalation on the war on Western Sahara. So clearly there will be, with this speech and announcement from the Polisario, also from the Algerian authorities, after the attack on the Algerian civilians. So we see that there will be clearly more escalations on this war of Western Sahara. And the Polisario, of course, after this year of a low tension war, they are announcing that they will attack the other side, the occupied zone of Western Sahara, which is west of the Berm. And absolutely, if we see the history after 16 years of war with Morocco, there were the Polisario. They did really big military operations, and they had thousands of Morocco prisoners of war. So the Polisario just declares that there will be kind of these operations and take the war to the next level to defend their the Polisario, the Sahrawi civilians, and also to liberate the Western Sahara and have the right of the Sahrawi people to live in freedom and to get their independence. So even in the occupied territory, the half of the population of Western Sahara who are living under the occupation in Western Sahara, they are under siege, and there is a lot. They are committing the Moroccans. They are committing these crimes against human rights. And as you can see here and listen, this is Sultana Khay. So this is Sultana Khaya. She's an activist, known activist in Western Sahara. She just wants the independence and freedom for her people. Also, she's a hostage now, or under home arrest for 1 year now by Moroccan occupiers. And these Moroccan occupier forces, they just attacking her and her family, the Sultana Khaya's family, in a daily basis the whole last year, and they're under siege. So, and home arrest. Even she got raped yesterday by these terrorist Moroccans. The regime of Morocco, they attack her in the early morning yesterday, November 14, 2 days now, and they attacked they break into the house early morning, and they raped her and her sisters too. They got beaten. They like messed up with the whole house, and they took some of their belongings too. So she's just now documenting these videos and asking everyone to intervene, especially the international community, the Organization of Human Rights, and the United Nations, since even we know that United Nations, unfortunately, they did nothing in Western Sahara, and the MINURSO, which is the mandate. The United Nations mandate to organize the referendum in Western Sahara. They didn't organize the referendum in Western Sahara, but also they are the unique and the only United Nations mission that has no mandate to monitor the human rights violation in Western Sahara. So the human rights violation in Western Sahara is committed by the Moroccan in a daily basis in Western Sahara, and they are living just in a big prison in Western Sahara, since there is a blockade there for the media, the international media, and the press cannot get into the Western Sahara to document what's happening there and the violation of human rights committed by the Moroccan occupiers. So this is kind of a resume of what's going on in Western Sahara the whole this year, since the Polisario and the Western Sahara Army for Independence, they announced to resume the war again. I hope to see you in the next videos talking about this issue. I will try to give some summaries in a maybe a weekly basis, or depend on also on what's happening and the new things that happen in Western Sahara. Depends on the movement, depends on the war and the escalation of war in Western Sahara. And also, if you have any questions, you can just direct message me on Twitter, Zaini Ali Talib, at Zaini Ali Talib, or here, just comment on this video and I will try to respond. If you want more clarification on Western Sahara, or which topics you want to have more clarifications or analysis on it. This is what we have for today. Just stay tuned with us for more videos in English, and hopefully to cover the issue in Western Sahara and the war and what's going on in occupied territories, in the liberated zones, and also in the whole region. We'll try to do some analysis, geostrategical analysis on the region, the North African region in general. So this is, with your help, we will try our best to cover these topics. Thank you for watching the video. We also need your support to spread the word, spread the words on Western Sahara, and to shed light more on this issue. So just try to share the information, share the videos on Western Sahara, and subscribe and share this video. Thank you for watching us today, and see you the next time.